Welcome to Chokeholds and Chill, where the arm bars are tight and the conversations are deep.
We're Jenn and Mal, two women navigating life, mat burn, and the wild world of Jiu Jitsu, one episode at a time.
From white belts to black, trauma to triumph, we bring you the real stories from the people who roll through it all.
So tighten your belt, take a breath, and let's get into it. Welcome back to Chokeholds and Chill. We are so excited to have a special guest with us today. Randy Ray is a purple belt, a dedicated competitor, a dad, and someone who has done a lot of work in a lot of transformation over the years.
Randy's story is raw and inspiring, from growing up in a difficult childhood, facing addiction, and then finding sobriety, a purpose on the mats, and fatherhood. And we're so grateful to have him here to share that with you.
So, with no further ado, here's Randy Ray.
We're gonna start recording now.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. So,
Start.
welcome to Chokeholds and Chill.
Woo!
We are so excited to have our friend Randy. Can you give us a little intro? Like, tell us who you are, where you're from, where you train,
all the
fun. Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on your awesome podcast. My name is Randy Ray. I train here in Richmond, Virginia, over at Upstream with Seth Smith.
Nice.
Love it.
I dropped in there like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, nice. What brought you out this way?
I was taking a class, a certification class for work, and it just happened to be there, and I dropped in because
Kelly and PJ.
because Kelly and PJ went there. But I ended up going on a night that neither of them were there, so I just
Was Randy there?
I don't know. Maybe you were there. Maybe we rolled together. That
I was probably not. So I switched over there just back in November from I trained at Revolution for a little while, for about 3.5 years before.
Yeah. Well, I had a great experience there. They were awesome. It was a good place to drop in, so that's cool. You're a competitor, you're a dad, purple belt. You've got a pretty cool story.
A super rad story.
So we want to so we want to get into it. Let Jen, you go right ahead.
First I want to ask you, so a couple things have happened fairly recently in your life. You've recently promoted to purple belt.
Yay, congratulations.
And
thank you.
Won gold at the IBJJF Virginia Summer Open.
I did, yes.
As a purple belt, as a new purple belt.
The new purple belt. Yeah, it was my second tournament at purple belt, my first IBJJF one. And yeah, I felt really good going in. And I feel like over the past 6 months or so since I've been training that Upstream, like I've just I feel like I've gotten a lot better, and just I'm just having a lot more fun and just being more playful. And yeah, it's been awesome.
That is so exciting.
Fucking rad.
That is so awesome. So gold at your second freaking tournament as a purple belt.
Yeah,
incredible.
Really awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
How long have you been training altogether?
Altogether, just over 4 years of solid jiu-jitsu training. I did some mixed martial arts as a teenager for about 2 years, and then before COVID, I was training at Elevate MMA in Durham, North Carolina for a few months. And then that all got shut down for COVID. And then I moved from North Carolina to Richmond. And when things started opening up, I was just trying to find something to do to get out of the house and meet some people, because I work from home.
Yeah.
And ended up getting into jiu-jitsu about 4 years ago.
Damn. I just want to ask why you transitioned from MMA to jiu-jitsu.
So I did MMA as a teenager. It was it was an interesting MMA class. So I grew up in kind of a smaller town. So I grew up in Torrington, Connecticut, and population is 30,000 people. And there's a gym up there called Nino's Martial Arts, and he's his black belt is in Taekwondo and Hapkido, but he kind of trained a lot of different things. and like wrestling and boxing and all that stuff. And so he would have like a taekwondo class, and then he had an MMA class. And it was like just like me and a bunch of kids from my high school just like kicking the shit out of each other. And yeah, like some decent like striking instruction and like a little bit of like grappling and wrestling, but like definitely no like good jujitsu. But it was just like a fun place to just like go and fight a bunch of people and
Yeah.
like train super hard and like kind of it was a good way to like get like toughened up as a teenager. Like we'd have like Hell Week where we're doing like shin clashes and
Oh my
like
God.
punching
Wow.
cement walls and just like crazy stupid shit that kids should not be doing, but it was uh fun at the time.
Yeah. How old would you say you were during like that period?
So it was like 15, 16, and 17.
Okay.
Oh.
What was life like growing up and, early years prior to starting MMA and stuff?
Yeah, so I grew up, so it was me, my mom, and my sister, mostly. And my dad was a alcoholic, left when I was about 5. So like most of my memories are just like me, my mom, and my sister. And then we lived in like a 2-family apartment, and my aunt and my cousin lived downstairs from us. So it was kind of like a kind of together family. We'd all go downstairs in my aunt's house and eat dinner all the time and stuff. So it's like my mom, my aunt, cousin, and sister growing up. Uh, yeah, my single mom, she worked at a grocery store. Like I just kind of did whatever I wanted as a kid, and uh, never had any like real like discipline or rules or repercussions. And so I was just kind of like out hanging out with older kids, getting into a bunch of trouble most of the time. And yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about you using substances when you were younger, and you just literally said that's kind of how it started. So what led to your use, and how does your MMA training play into that?
Yeah, so I guess like the first time I got drunk, I was like 11
Mm.
years old, and it was kind of funny. Like I was with my friend Dan, Jason's younger brother,
Hmm.
and we like stole these bottles of wine from my neighbor. Like we like they had them in these like in the basement on this rack underneath these like kind of little New England basement windows. And so like I held Dan's feet, and he like went down and grabbed all this wine and passed it up to me. And I was and it was like I think we finished like 3 bottles of this like homemade wine,
Oh my
and I was
God.
11. I think he was a few years older and had drank before. But it was like kind of like a big night in Torrington, Connecticut, because it was Friday, and that's when the roller rink has their dance. And so we were getting ready to
Oh
go
my
to this
God.
like dance at the roller rink, and I just remember like barely walking through the door, and then like going out on the dance floor and just like going to say hi to like a pretty girl and just throwing up all over her.
Oh no.
uh, but then like so like it was like fun and funny, but then like I felt like kind of a lot of shame and stuff the next day because like I
Hmm.
like came home drunk and my mom was upset and all that stuff. And but I just like kept finding myself hanging out with people that drank and did drugs as a kid, and like all of my friends that I grew up with were kind of just into that. And so I just found myself doing it over and over again and just having, uh, consequences from it, and like getting in trouble, getting arrested. And uh, yeah, I don't know. It's weird when you're a kid and you're just kind of stuck in that cycle, and it just kind of seems normal. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So
so
what did your road to sobriety start to look like? Because you got into harder substances like when you were like 16, right?
yeah, around like 16, 17. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess even like earlier, like even around like 14 or so, like there's
Oh.
always like Vicodins and Percocets and cocaine and stuff kind of floating around. And
Uh-huh.
uh, a lot of people would like hang out at my house just because there was no supervision. So we had like a bunch of people would hang out in the garage in the backyard. And
Mhm.
just like the people kind of started getting a little bit older, and like things started getting a little bit weirder. and
Yeah.
uh, and then like the drugs started getting kind of harder. And yeah, so I by the time like 16 to 20, like I had an opiate addiction, and like was like shooting heroin
Mm.
and drinking and doing kind of anything else I could, and like had a few attempts of getting sober and going to
Mm.
detox and sober houses. um, and then when I was 20, I moved to North Carolina, and I met some people down there in the recovery community that just like for whatever reason I was willing to listen to. And yeah, just they kind of helped guide me and help me find a way to get sober. And a lot of that was just like trying to find a way to show up and be of service to other people, and just like having a community of people around you that care about you. And um, yeah, so there's tons of stories there, and like a lot that could talk about. Um,
Yes. So what was it about that group of people down there? Because I'm sure, along the years, a lot of times people hear, if you ever want help, I'm here, or, you should get some help. Or what was the difference when you went down to North Carolina that those people said to you that made it actually stick?
Yeah, I'm really not sure, and it sucks because I wish I could give like better advice. I know there's like so many people who are either going through it or know someone that's going through it, but
Hmm.
like I had really good people around me when I was up in Connecticut, and like people that were trying to help me, and like a supportive family that was trying to help.
Yeah.
Um, but just like for whatever reason, just like wasn't able to kind of get it together. I was just
Mhm.
like, I think for me, a lot of it was like a lot of like depression and anxiety and stuff underneath. And like for me, it was like being sober just felt like an intolerable condition. And
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was like, it felt like, if I was, even if I knew there's going to be shitty consequences, getting some relief from that condition for a while seemed worth it. It was either that or like kind of like started having like suicidal thoughts and like,
Right.
uh, and so it's like just trying to find some relief. And that's like, I think, a big misconception for a lot of people who are like trying to get sober, and people just like are really confused by it. But really, it's like for the person who's trying to get sober and who's like stuck in addiction, it's just like the being sober just becomes like so intolerable,
Hmm.
and
Right.
just like some depression and anxiety and frustration and confusion and just like uh yeah.
Did you end up getting, therapy or something to move through that side of things for yourself? Or was it just time and try again that really clicked for you?
Yeah, for me, I ended up in Alcoholics Anonymous, and like got a sponsor there, and just someone that I really clicked with. And like I went through like the 12 steps and spent a lot of my time trying to help other people get sober.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't do that now, but for about 10 years, that was like I dedicated most of my free time to doing that, because it was just it definitely helped me. It just like helped change my whole
Hmm.
perspective on life and on what was important to me, and like gave me some purpose, and uh took me kind of out of myself and thinking about myself all the time, and like got me thinking more about like how I could be of service to the people around me, and like
Hmm.
how could I be a better son and brother and father and all that stuff. And so it kind of just shifted my perspective in a lot of ways. Um, so I don't think that's the path for everybody, but
Hmm.
it definitely was. There's a lot of things that like I don't like about the recovery community and Alcoholics Anonymous, but for me, like with a group of people that I happened to find, like they were just like really like laid back, awesome, good people
Yeah.
that like
Mhm.
were just like really trying to help.
Yeah. So
That's really cool to have that.
can you tell us a little bit more about, so you talk a lot about, service to others. What kind of things were you doing, to help others get and stay sober? What did that work look like for you?
So in North Carolina, there's a really awesome place called the Healing Place. I think it changed its name to Healing Transitions. So that's like in Raleigh, North Carolina. There's a men's facility and a women's facility.
Mm.
Um, and I think the men's facility was like about 150 people. And so it's like a homeless shelter with a recovery program.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was like completely free. Like if you're trying to get sober and you're a North Carolina resident, you could just show up there. They have
Wow.
like a medical detox and all that stuff.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, that's amazing.
yeah, and so like I didn't go through that facility, but like uh we would just pick people up from that facility every day and like take them to meetings, or like take them out to coffee, or take them to get some food, and just like hanging out with people and just like trying to just take people to meetings. And and eventually after like I went through the steps in AA, I was like sponsoring people and trying to take them through the steps,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then like detoxing people on my couch and trying to help people
Oh
like
my
get off
Wow.
the
Wow.
herd. So I did a
So
lot of that until I ended up having a kid, and then I was like, okay, I think I need to adjust how I'm spending my time a little bit and get some of these crazy people off my couch.
yeah. And it's true, like as rewarding as that is, it's very heavy and that has to like stick with you a little bit. So what does it feel like when somebody that you care about or have been, caring for relapses? Or in that period of time when you were doing that, what did that feel like for you?
Yeah, I think like it really depends on like the time, because there's definitely times where like I would be like emotional about it, and then there was times where I was kind of numb to it because you just kind of see it a lot, and then kind
Yeah.
of everything in between. Um, but yeah, it's always a challenge, but I always just kind of accept that like I'm not really responsible for the outcome. I'm just kind of responsible for showing up and
Mhm.
doing the best I can to be helpful.
Yeah.
Similar to like preparing for a jiu-jitsu tournament. Like if I'm thinking about the outcome of the tournament the whole time, then I'm just kind of like, it's not helpful, and I'm just like in an emotional state
Mhm.
and
Yes.
feeling anxious. But if I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to focus on like what can I do, um, and try to be helpful, then
Mhm.
leave the outcome up to something else.
Yeah. So what would you say like helps you protect like your own mental health when you were doing that kind of work and everything? What helps you stay grounded? What helped you stay grounded then and what helps you stay grounded now?
Um, I feel like that like doing that was kind of what helped me stay grounded. Like
Mhm.
taking time, like I would every Sunday I would dedicate pretty much the whole day to just like meeting with people that I was sponsoring and trying to help get sober. And like that was always like the best day. Like I would always like feel really good after doing that. Um,
Mhm.
and then like I don't know, because I'm definitely someone who's like pretty self-centered, like naturally. Like I've like constantly thinking about myself and what I need for myself. And so it's like I have to like consciously make an effort to like think about other people and think about like showing up for people.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and so like I just had a lot of opportunities to do that, and it definitely like just helped me focus on others instead of myself all the time.
I think that's pretty awesome that, you're able to like acknowledge that and say that because I feel like some people are very like I'm not self-centered. Like
Right,
they see
right.
it as, um
Oh,
They
we're
see it as
we're
a
all
negative.
self-centered.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say, like,
Yeah. Yeah. I
I got
mean,
my own agenda,
yeah,
right?
right. I mean, I think that's the thing though. I think we're all self-centered, but like it's hard for people to admit that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I just
interesting.
yeah. Um
So one
Yeah,
of
to be
oh, go for it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I was not sold on the idea that like being less selfish was gonna be like positive in any way. I just kind of like ran out of all my own ideas, and like when I ended up hanging out with these people in recovery, that's kind of what they were showing me, and it just didn't make sense to me, like how like I'm like my life is in shambles. So like how is like showing up and trying to help other people gonna help me? Like I'm here to help me, and
Yeah.
right.
but so it's like a kind of a counterintuitive thing, and I didn't really like I wasn't doing it because I was a nice person. I was like doing it because I was like people were just telling me to show up and try to be helpful, and I
Mhm.
was like, all right, I guess, and then it worked. Like it just changed kind of the way that I saw the world and saw people.
That's amazing.
So when jujitsu came into your life, does that play a role in well, I mean, I guess you've been sober for quite some time now. So I imagine the struggle's a little bit different as far as like what jujitsu does for your sobriety these days. Is it more stress management and handling your emotions, or is it just pure physical? Like, what does jujitsu do for you?
I think it definitely it does a lot in a short amount of time. Like it's kind of my it's my exercise, my social interaction, my like kind of gaming or like problem solving,
Mhm.
um, which is like something that I used to spend a lot of time doing too, playing video games, and so like scratches a lot of uh, itches for me.
Yeah.
And then like genuinely having like a community of people, I think is just essential for uh, just for general well-being as a human.
Hmm.
And so, and so it's been a really good community of people for me too. Just like I've made some really amazing friends and met my beautiful girlfriend there recently. And
Amazing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Your hot girlfriend.
my super hot girlfriend.
Your super hot girlfriend. That's like one of the first things Jen told me about you.
It
She's
is.
like, he's awesome and he's got a super hot girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I love to know these things.
Yeah. These are things that are important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just as like kind of an in between, so you were doing some MMA stuff in your teens and then you picked up jujitsu obviously like years later. Were you doing any sort of like MMA or like any sort of training or, sports or working out during that time?
Yeah, I really wasn't. So like I was like lifting pretty consistently and like for a little while got into running as well, but I always like kind of had a somewhat consistent weightlifting habit uh throughout the years. But I was like really focused on school for a little bit. So like I moved to North Carolina and decided to go back to school. I went to Wake Tech Community College and got just an associate's degree in network management and got some certifications while I was there. And then was able to get an internship at like a big tech company in the area. And then just kind of I had a kid, and so I was like super focused on just like my career and trying to make some money and figure out how to support a family. Um, and was really focused on that for a while. And then, but like I worked at a company called Cisco, and they had a big campus in North Carolina, and they had like a really nice gym there on campus. So like I had a good friend who I would work out with all the time, and actually two friends, so Corey and Hunter. We'd always work out together during lunchtime. And, Corey actually went on to develop the Macro Factor app, which is like a really cool calorie tracker app that's become super popular and has been really successful with. Um, if anyone's heard of that, Corey was like a gym partner for a while there and just like a really awesome, smart person. And, I remember him talking about like wanting to develop that app, and then he did it. So it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
So
Use
this was all in North Carolina, you said?
Yeah.
And then, so at what point did you move to Virginia? And like, so obviously that's a new chapter. But what made you start jujitsu like after you moved?
Yeah, so I moved to Virginia just for a job opportunity. So it was like during COVID, there was like a bunch of layoffs at my company. So a lot of these positions that are kind of hard to find opened up based on like people taking early retirement and stuff. And so my son was about to start kindergarten, and I was like, if I'm going to move somewhere for work, now is probably a good time. And so I interviewed at a few places and had a few offers, and ended up going taking this position in Virginia. And then when I got here, I was just like working from home and just like kind of getting a little stir crazy. And so I just needed a way to meet somebody. So I called Cody, who's the owner of Elevate, and asked him to recommend a gym down here. And he recommended Revolution and Upstream. And I just kind of chose Revolution at the time because they had like more morning classes open and available. And yeah, and just started showing up there and just fell like in love with it and just became obsessed. And it's the only thing I've been like consistently obsessed with for this amount of time.
I love it.
It has that effect on people. There's
Yeah.
something about
It's
it.
like its own addiction.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I
Yeah.
would do without it. So does jujitsu shape like any part of your identity in your current life? Like not physically, but emotionally or mentally?
That's a good question. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think so. Like, I guess, I mean, if you like look at my Instagram page, there's lots of pictures of uh of me doing jujitsu. So I guess that's like something I'm definitely trying to put out there as part of my identity. I try not to think too much about it or like uh kind of my identity as like a jiu-jitsu person, or as like or I don't know, any type of label that I put on it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's what I spend most of my time doing. When I like, if
Mhm.
I could be doing anything, then that's kind of where I'm at. And
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's just been like a really like kind of cool, interesting aspect of my life to be able to like travel places and meet people. And that's
Mhm.
kind of how I meet most people that I become friends with now, is like I'll travel somewhere and meet someone cool doing jujitsu in Costa Rica or something like this.
Yeah, yeah. And now, obviously, like being sober is a lot of discipline, and training jujitsu is a lot of discipline. And now, like, you're a competitor, and again, discipline. So, what does like that discipline mean to you? How important is that?
I honestly feel like I'm like one of the least disciplined people.
Really? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
interesting. That's so
Yeah.
Oh my
interesting.
God, I
Tell
love
me
it.
more.
Talk to us.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been good at like being like disciplined. It's just like I think I've been lucky that I've like found stuff that I'm like kind of obsessive about and like really interested in,
Mhm.
that I can focus on. But no, I'm pretty terrible at like time management and discipline sometimes. Yeah.
Welcome to the
Uh,
Yeah.
club.
Well, your discipline just looks different than other people's discipline, but it works. You're
yeah.
doing something right.
That's true.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you've had some huge accomplishments lately. Like we talked about the Virginia Summer Open, and
Yeah.
you're on getting ready for Master World. So tell me about the Open. What happened? How did it go? Talk us through that one.
Yeah. So it's gi division. My first match was all of my matches that I had that weekend were super fun, even the ones in like other divisions that I didn't win. But in the gi division, I won my first match with a armbar, and it's I've been having a lot of luck with like this one particular kind of back take armbar kind of trap setup, and I won the open last year at blue belt using the same thing. Um, and my first match, I was able to hit that armbar pretty quickly, and then in my second match, the guy was just like so huge and tall, like he had like cut down to the weight, and I recently went up from feather to lightweight, and this guy was like cutting down, and so I like got some cool like sweeps and cool movements and stuff on him, and like got him in the crucifix at one point and was like working some stuff there, and it was kind of fun. And then for like the last 3 minutes, I ended up in his closed guard, and like I just could not open his closed guard.
Oh
His legs were so
no.
long. But he like so I was just like kind of trying not to get swept and surfing out closed guard for the last 3 minutes. Um, so yeah, and it was just the two matches to gold for that one. Um,
Amazing.
unlike Master Worlds, where I think I have like 35 people in my bracket
Wow.
That's what
now.
I was gonna ask. That's where it gets like busy. So Master Worlds will be there. Well,
We'll be there.
Mallory
We'll
is
be
gonna be
there.
there also. So we're gonna come watch you there too, if we can. What are you
Awesome.
working on for that? Don't tell all the secrets, but like what's driving you? Obviously, it's not being disciplined, and it's not the gold.
Yeah.
So what drives you?
If I were more disciplined, I'd probably have like specific things that I'm working on and have it written
Mhm.
down. And uh, yeah, I'm definitely like a guard player, so I'm just kind of working on like a lot of spider lasso guard, and just finding ways to get underneath people and off balance them, and just kind of go with the flow there. Like, that's what I'm like having the most fun doing jujitsu, is like when I'm just kind of like getting up underneath people and just trying to find interesting ways to like sweep them or take their back, and uh,
Yeah.
just like focus on like keeping at least one leg elevated and just kind of moving around and watching people get frustrated.
I
Uh,
love it.
It's so fun.
It is.
yeah,
It's so fun to watch him roll because he's like very much inverted, but also like super like technical and like very methodical.
Yeah, that's fun.
And he's right. Everybody does just look frustrated as fuck.
yeah, I think I think it's a lot of it's from like rolling with, especially at my last gym at Revolution. There's like a few like smaller females that were just like really good
Ah,
training partners and just like
Mhm.
super good at jujitsu,
yeah.
and so like just like slowing down and like paying attention to what they're
Mhm.
doing instead of like trying to like power out of it, um, and just like
Oh, you're a
being
good
interested.
training
No,
partner.
I'm so sad
I
I did
try to
not get
be,
to roll with
but
him.
only selfishly because I want to get better.
I know, but
Um,
Randy, like basically what you just said is that women are superior at jujitsu, and you're taking all the secrets to make yourself better.
I don't.
Essentially.
I use slightly different words, but yeah, that was kind of the gist.
Yeah, like what I think is interesting and like something that I love about jujitsu is like obviously the community. So it's like you went from doing like, 10 years, the first 10 years of your sobriety, showing up for others and, service for others. So do you feel like with jujitsu, like that's another way that you are still like still doing that, showing up for other people? And obviously you're showing up for yourself, but what do you like? Did you ever kind of put that together or think about it that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of thought about it a little bit of like, because sometimes I miss like being like more involved in like helping people get sober, or just like overcome challenges, and but I do see some of it in that way, especially like so I help coach kids class, which is something that's important to me,
Yeah.
and my I have a 9-year-old who's been training for about 3.5 years, so he started like 6 months after I did, and so like I really love just being able to do that with him and like help out with the kids class, and moving to upstream recently has just been great, and I've like just like trying to find ways to just be helpful while I'm there, and a lot of that's just trying to be a good training partner, and so yeah, I do kind of see it as like a way of showing up and being of service.
Hmm.
uh, but I don't think about it like too much consciously. I guess like I'm just like excited to go do jujitsu and hang out with my friends and stuff. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I definitely like kind of scratches that itch as well.
Yeah.
Randy, looking back on your life, what are you most proud of?
Uh, I don't know. I don't feel like an overwhelming sense of pride
Hmm.
generally. Like I feel more lucky, like and fortunate, and like not trying to be like falsely humble or anything, but like
Mhm.
I it's been like thinking about getting sober, like during the time, like for whatever reason, I was able to kind of find a way to get sober. But I know like so many people who are just like genuinely better people than me in many ways, who like weren't able to get sober, or like people who like lives turned out very differently. And
Yeah.
so I just feel extremely fortunate, uh, for all the awesome stuff that's happened in my life in the past couple years or decade or so.
Hmm.
I have two awesome kids that are great, um, and I have a career that's pretty good and that pays the bills, and I'm really thankful for, and a hobby that I really like, doing jujitsu. Um, so yeah, I feel extremely fortunate, and yeah, I'll, that's my answer.
Yeah. No, I love that. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, it really was beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, what would you say to someone who's still struggling with addiction or trying to find their place, whether that's in recovery or elsewhere?
Ah, man, yeah, I just like I get it, and I know that it sucks, and sometimes it just feels impossible. Um, and like a lot of people who are in that position have tried over and over again, and like I know that people get like really worn down after a while, where it's like if you've tried to figure out this problem 10 times and it hasn't worked, then there's no hope. But I've also just seen so many amazing stories of people who uh even if they've struggled a lot in the beginning, like have found a way to get better. But I would just say like for me, I just had like the solution wasn't going to come from my brain. Like I had been like trying my best to figure out how to like get sober and live like a decent life for years, and I just like for whatever reason just kept like hitting a wall. So like at some point, like you just kind of need to take some direction from somebody who's experienced it and found a way to solve the problem. So like, yeah, I don't, and wherever you could find some willingness to take some direction from somebody who's like trying to help, that's even if it seems like their ideas like are stupid, like they're probably better than yours if you're like constantly
Right.
failing.
That's the most
That was
real
kinda-
thing.
That was kind of my attitude. Like when I got into recovery, I'm like, all these people seem completely delusional and crazy. I'm like, but like whatever they're doing is working better than what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna adopt their delusion, and then once I'm not like suffering, I'll figure out what I actually. What
Wait,
life's all
did you
about.
just say adopt their delusion?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Gosh, the number of times I've done that.
So, yeah.
That's
If you're
awesome.
struggling, adopt someone who's like delusionally sober and happy about it, and just do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then you could go back to being like really cool and edgy afterwards.
Yes. But a sober version. Oh,
Yeah.
That's so great. So we usually like to lighten it up a little bit at the end and we do some rapid fire questions. Are you down for that?
Sure, I'll do my best.
All right. So we'll start off easy. Gi or no gi?
Slight preference for the gi.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
Depends on my current habits. Lately, night owl.
Okay. What's your favorite meal?
Favorite meal? Just a steak and some rice.
Awesome. That's a classic. You get a free one-way ticket to anywhere in the world. Where are you going?
I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this question.
Because there's so many options.
Probably back to Costa Rica to do some more jiu-jitsu and
come in
surfing.
January.
Yeah. What's your favorite submission?
Favorite submission? Probably bow and arrow choke in the gi.
Nice.
Or armbar. I've been trying to hit broad apladas a lot since
Oh
learning
yeah.
a little bit better from Seth, but still have some work to do.
Nice.
That's awesome.
She did. She was teaching me some when she got back.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to, get it together and start using that.
Mhm.
What if you had a super fight tomorrow, what would your walkout song be?
I think the last time I had one was The Grudge by Tool.
Nice. Okay. And the last question we like to ask our guests is if your best friend were describing you in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
He'd probably call me hot or something.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Definitely would just be like it would definitely just be like a homoerotic, bro-y kind of comment about how I look.
I love that. So just
Everybody's answers are always like kind, loving, and Randy's like hot.
you're like hot, gay. I love that.
That's just how jiu-jitsu guys are with each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
I love it.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this, Randy. I appreciate you letting us dig into your life.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
has been like such a gift, such a awesome thing. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for having me on your show. This was fun.
yeah.
Thank you.
So
Come see us in Costa Rica in January.
yeah, and hopefully we can catch up at Master Worlds.
Yes.
Coming up here. We are
Yes.
cheering you on, not just for Master Worlds, but for life in general. You're doing awesome. And I'm so jealous.
Keep doing the damn thing.
Keep doing the damn thing. I'm jealous of all of your training partners, and I hope to roll with you sometime.
Yes.
Well, maybe we could find an open mat or something out in Vegas.
Awesome.
There you go.
That would be
Oh,
great.
we got a
We could
gym,
do
Lex's
that.
gym.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do it.
All
See ya.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank
see
you
you.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Instagram at chokeholdsandchillpod or shoot us a message at chokeholdsandchillpod@gmail.com.